You're doing the work, you're eating cleaner, you're moving more, and still, scale has not budged. You ever feel like that? Like you putting in the effort, but God hit pause on your progress? What if I told you that your breakthrough isn't just about what you weigh, but how well you can wait?
And we bout to grind, we bout to live. Yeah, we bout to shine, we bout to live. Yeah, we bout to grind, we bout to live. Yeah, we bout to shine, we bout to live. Yeah, we bout to grind.
Welcome to Preacher Curls, where we break down the barriers between faith, fitness, and function. I'm your coach, Marvin Ke'Onn, and after being in the fitness industry for over 10 years, today's topic is one that has plagued individuals well before I got started and will continue to disrupt our progress if we don't do something about it. So today, I want to talk about reaching your goal weight. And yep, I spelled that right, because this isn't just about weight loss, it's about learning to weight well, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Let's tap in. So let me say something that may shock you. Weight loss, not as complicated as we made it. Okay, yes, there's science to it. You know, there's some hormones that are involved. But at the core, basic math, basic habits, and basic discipline. You eat a little less, you move a little more, you do it consistently, and guess what? The body has to respond. But here's the problem. Most people aren't struggling with weight loss. They're struggling with staying consistent long enough for it to work. That's why so many people have been trying to lose the same 10 pounds for years. It's not because it's hard, because we don't know how to wait. We start a new plan, we kill it for 14 days, and then we ghost it like a bad relationship. And then we get frustrated because the scale don't move quick enough, and we want 6-week abs with a 6-week attention span. And let's be honest, man, that 20 pounds didn't just show up last night. So why do we expect it to be gone in 3 weeks? And weight loss doesn't take forever. For most people, it can be a matter of months, maybe a year's top. But instead of committing for 12 months straight, we've been starting and stopping for the last 12 years. So it's not the weight that's the issue, it's the weight. And the truth is, your body will follow the lead of your habits, but your spirit has to sit still and be disciplined and not throw in the towel every time progress slows down. So let's switch gears real quick. Because while your body is responding to habits, your spirit is being developed in the weight. Because you see, waiting isn't just about time passing. Waiting is pressure. Waiting is tension. And God will often use the weight to work on who we are becoming, not just what we're trying to achieve. Let's go to the story of Abraham and Sarah. God promised them a child, a legacy. But the wait felt too long. So what did they do? They took matters in their own hands. Sarah told Abraham, go sleep with my servant Hagar. And then Ishmael was born. But Ishmael wasn't the promise. Ishmael was the result of impatience, of trying to force a blessing before God released it. And some of us are walking around right now carrying Ishmaels. And I don't just mean relationships, but I mean rush results, crash diets, programs we started out of panic, things that we forced because we got tired of trusting. But in true God fashion, God still came through, and Isaac was born in God's time. And that is the message. Every delay is not a denial. It just means God is still developing something deeper in you. Isaiah 40:31 says, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Not they who panic, not they who manipulate the scale, not they who settle for the shortcuts, but those who wait. So if you're frustrated in this season, ask yourself, am I trying to make something happen? Or am I truly trusting the one who already promised it? So now that you know the wait is part of the weight loss, but let's make one thing very clear. Waiting on God doesn't mean you're sitting on your hands. It means being faithful while it still feels slow. It means working with wisdom and not just grinding blindly. See, most people think waiting is passive. Like, oh, I'm just waiting on the Lord. But nah, faith without works is dead. So while you're waiting for that scale to move, God is asking you to move in obedience. So let me break it down like this. I want you to wait. I want you to work your plan. Not a perfect plan, but one you'll actually follow. A lot of times we like to immediately shift our mind to the most extreme variations of things and think that, well, because I can't do that, then I can't do anything. No, that's just you finding a reason not to do whatever the thing is. So if it's trying to lose weight, yeah, maybe you can't lift like Ronnie Coleman. That's okay. But maybe you should start with a walk. Commit to doing a walk on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Start there. And then once you get used to the walk, then maybe add some resistance training. And then once you get that, then maybe add 4 days. Like progressively allow yourself to like go from one place to another. But don't feel like you have to start at the extreme, or don't feel like because you don't start at the extreme into something, then that doesn't mean you don't have to do anything. No, you just need to stick to something that you know you can commit to and allow yourself to evolve from there. Hey, you have to adjust your attitude, because you're not going to complain your way into consistency. We see this in the gym setting all the time. People come in and they have this kind of woe is me attitude and, oh my God, I'm just doing this because I have to, will not help you in this process. If anything, it's going to get to the point where you're inevitably going to give more energy. Like what it is you give more energy to is the thing that's going to grow. So if you're going to consistently complain, then that's what's going to see the most growth before the actual the reason that you're there in the first place. We have to allow ourselves to have an attitude that sees the gratitude and the opportunity in this experience that we have. Like I have the opportunity to do the thing that I'm asking God to do. I have the opportunity to do my part to facilitate it. And guess what? I don't even have to do it by myself. But having an attitude that is dismissive and complaining and, oh, I don't want to be here, no, I don't want to do that. That's not the consistency you want to grow. You want to grow a consistency that has some gratitude invested in it, that says, you know what, I'm thankful that I get this moment. I have this opportunity to work on the things that I want to see change in my life. You have to invest in your temple. Meal prep. Get you a trainer. Get some coaching. Get some mindset coaching. Because, we've gotten into a culture that it's so easy for us to invest in things that please our flesh. So it's so easy for us to invest, in fast food, or going to our favorite restaurant, or buying our most, expensive piece of clothing, or this pair of shoes, or this thing, because these are all fleshly things that we like because they give us an approval, generally from somebody outside of us. I mean, yeah, we'll say, oh, well, I'm doing this for me, but if we're being completely 1,000% honest, part of your investment in that particular piece of clothing or those pair of shoes, or dining at these specific places, doing these things, some of it is also because you want to be the one that, I'm the only one who has this. Nobody has these. These ain't even came out yet. You can't even get these. You can't even find these. We all kind of like that exclusiveness of having something that we've invested in that not many other people have. But when it comes to ourselves and this only temple that is truly the only thing that's really exclusive to us, then we want to cheapskate it. We want to say, no, that's too much. I don't want a meal prep. I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for a coach. I don't want to pay for a trainer. I want to pay for a plan. But at the same time, we're upset because there is no movement in this thing that we're asking to change in our lives. It doesn't work like that. You have to be willing to invest. You got to be willing to invest some time. You got to be willing to invest some energy. And you may be it may require you to invest some of your finances as well. But if you allow yourself to be invested, these are skills and these are things that will carry you throughout the rest of your life, because you may grow out of that shirt. You may grow out of those shoes. That restaurant may close down, but your temple will be with you during your tenure on this earth. And last but not least, you have to trust God's timing, even when it's not matching your deadline. And that may be the most challenging thing for us, because again, I see that in the gym space all the time. We all have this deadline. We want to be down by this time because we got this wedding we got to go to. We have this event that we have to be snatched for. We got to be ready for this. Got to be, it's the summer, it's spring break. It's all these different occasions. But Sometimes the timeline that we create is not the timeline that God has us on. But I can say this, that nonetheless of what God's timeline is, we're not going to facilitate it coming into fruition any faster if we're not in a space of movement. Because God's going to do what God's going to do nonetheless, but what he will be waiting on throughout the entirety of our experience is waiting to see how we're moving even when we don't think he's moving. And I get it. You want results right now. You want the proof that it's working today. That's the world we live in. We're in the microwave generation. We want it instantly. Instacart, Instagram, Insta this, Insta that. We want everything right now. But listen to me. God isn't preparing your body. He's preparing your heart. Because if you rush the process, you'll only repeat the problem. And the truth is, the person that you're becoming in the weight is 10 times more valuable than the pounds that you're trying to lose. So, let me say something that may flip your entire mindset. The weight isn't in the way. The weight is the workout. Not the bench press, not the treadmill, not the macros. It's the discipline that keeps showing up when nothing is changing. It's the reps of resisting the urge to quit. It's the faith to believe God is moving even when the scale and the mirror may not. See, we got it twisted. We think transformation is just about how intense we can be. But God is looking for your consistency. Anybody can do it for a week. But who can be obedient in the stillness? Who can walk by faith and not by the feedback of a scale? Because God isn't trying to get you hot girl summer ready. He's trying to make you strong enough for your purpose. Because real strength isn't revealed in your before and after pictures, but it is going to be revealed in how you carry yourself when you feel overlooked. That's the weight. That's the workout. That's where the real gains are made. Listen, I don't know what you're waiting on right now. Maybe it's weight loss. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's clarity. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's a comeback that you've been praying for. But hear me. God hasn't forgotten about you. You're not too far gone. You're not behind. You're being built. And the weight is not being wasted. It's preparing you for what it is you prayed for. So, you don't need another crash diet. You don't need a quick fix. But you do need a deeper why. A strong discipline and a heart that says, God, I trust you even in the weight. So I hope this message blesses you guys. I hope that whatever you're waiting on, that you don't allow that weight to keep you down. I hope you realize that that weight is just a part of the weight. And God wants to see how you're going to handle it. And I believe that you can do it. I believe that you have the components to reach whatever it is that you have set your heart and desire to. And as you're reaching that thing, as you're waiting on it, allow yourself to get to know God on a whole different level, because that's a different experience we get to experience with God when we're sitting inside of that weight, when it's real still and it's real quiet, and God is the only person we can talk to and the only person that hears us and feels us in that moment. Allow that to develop you, and I promise you that on the other side of that weight, whatever that thing that you were praying for, it will be right on time, and it will feel even better than you could have even imagined if you will give it time. I hope this message blessed you guys. I hope that something that was said will encourage you, will move you, will put you into that state where you're ready to jump into action. Share it with a friend, share it with somebody who's waiting on something. Until next time, guys, I am Marvin Ke'Onn. This is Preacher Curls. Don't be good, be great. Peace.